So the clinic sent me to see the research midwives. The research midwives thought for about 10 seconds and said, oh, well, here's one that you're qualified for. And I came into the category of a slightly higher risk pregnancy because of having had IVF. And the research midwives were terribly apologetic that this would involve an extra blood test and an extra urine test every month and a bit of going out of the way on my part. And I reassured them that I was very, very happy to do all of this. And in fact, the blood tests could usually be done when I went to the antenatal clinic. So there were only a few occasions when I had to have an extra blood test.
Before they induced me, I did sign a form. I remember signing a consent form to say that they could take my stem cells, and also if I needed any other further intervention due to the pregnancy and possible cesarean, I signed those then. I remember coming out, when I came out of the anaesthetic, talking to my husband, I said, they did do the stem cell thing, didn't they? And he said, yes, they did.
That was the opportunity. They actually put me on the scanner and did an X-ray scan for body mass and body fat, which I thought was fascinating. I thought it was really interesting to see a colour map of where the fat is on my body, and just yes. That's why I've got to put a bit of exercise into the gym at, things like that. Took some blood samples, talked through the whole procedure there, and again at that point they were still saying, come down for the day. If you don't like it, you can back out at any time.
I've had various biopsies that they've taken from the stomach, and they always warn you that you may get a bruise. You always get a bruise. It's usually quite a large bruise, but it's actually quite difficult, but they are so helpful. The nurses in particular, they stay with you the whole time. They explain exactly what they're doing, and every sort of, I would more likely think every 10-15 minutes, if they're going to do something different, they'll make sure you're happy with what they're doing at that time. I suppose the last study I did, which is the one I suppose is most recent in my mind, I came away from that really, really sort of buoyed up, purely because these pictures of my heart, because usually it's too technical for you, but you see a picture of your heart beating, sort of standing outside after I'd been through this scanning machine, and I'm saying, that's my heart, and it's beating, and it was amazing. It was absolutely incredible.
There have been times where I can remember one time reading something and I'm thinking, oh God, I don't really understand that. That sounds quite invasive. But I talked it through with a nurse that I know, and when she explained it to me, I thought, actually, it's not that bad. So I suppose that it could be off-putting to people when you get, a big wad of paper and it's all medical terms. But the fact that if you are unsure, you do talk it through with somebody, because you'll get a better idea.
It's perhaps a bit unusual because you've been in contact with one research team for quite a long time.
A long time, yes.
How important is that relationship in keeping you going?
I think it's very important because you get to know the staff, and I suppose in some way they're a bit like, they become like friends. You get to know them, and I quite often think, oh, that's quite nice actually, because I'm going up to see them and you chat and you catch up, and because you can be there for half a day or a whole day, and it can be quite nice because sometimes you're just lying on a bed, once they've got everything into you. I've sat and read magazines and they put the radio on, and there are other times with the research, you've got to concentrate more on different things, but quite often you're just, it can be quite a nice day, quite relaxing,